Number 1. You never say what you're scared to say. You want to say something for a reason. When you have something to say, silence is a lie. Number 2. You never do things out of your routine. How are you supposed to meet anyone new if you never speak to anyone wherever you go? I mean, I literally remember I went out with my friends who brought people they knew, but I didn't, and I couldn't bring myself to say anything to these new people. So please, in this way, don't be like me. Number 3. You never take the lead and always wait for someone to walk in front and to guide you wherever you go. Stop letting other people decide for you. You literally look like a child. Responsibility makes the man. So take some responsibility and lead whoever you are with. Bonus points if it's a girl. Or else, you could be the girl and wait for her to guide you and decide where to go. Up to you. Number 4. You value other people's words over your own. You think their opinion of you is final. This is the best way to show and tell yourself that you have no self-respect. And finally, number 5. You're scared of women. Women aren't scary, you just think they are. Number 1, because you think they're special. And number 2, because you don't know how to speak or interact with them. When you overcome these 2 things, women are actually pleasant to be around and not scary at all. And no, you're not gonna do a cartoony ass fall and lose all your aura. That's just your mind trying to convince you not to do something scary. Don't listen to it. This is a guide on how to be a loser for the rest of your life. So if you do these things, then you're showing promising signs that you're gonna be a bum leeching off other people in the coming years. You're not early, you're not late, you're just in a different timeline. See you, bro.
I find it hard to do things myself. I'm great at following instructions, but not so great at setting them. And this came from the school system. From ever since we were very young, we were always taught that things were going to be set for us, and then we have to do them. This couldn't be further from the truth. As you grow up, I've noticed myself, you have to plan things. You have to set your own timetable. Remember in school when you had a timetable? Yeah. You need to create one now. I'm recording this video to tell you that it's okay to do things. Cause you want to. You don't need anyone to approve what you're doing. You don't need to have a teacher looking over at you that's gonna scold you if you go to take a piss. I catch myself doing this sometimes. Let's say I want to text a girl, and I come up with a line. Before I send the message, I text my friend first to ask him what he thinks. Bro, the line is good. Just send it. You don't need to wait for him to tell you yes. Just send it, and then tell him what happened afterwards. And it's the same with other cases. You're growing up now. You're a teenager. You're a young adult. Tell your mom you're going out. You don't need to ask for permission like a puppy waiting for a piss. Obviously, do it respectfully. Tell her where you're going and how long you're gonna take. But bro, you have this freedom and you're not using it. You're still stuck in the 4 walls of your bedroom because of earlier trauma. Bro, you can go for a walk if you want to. Nobody's keeping you from doing that. Actually, let's do that. I'm going for a walk. You're not early. You're not late. You're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. Shyness and social anxiety have been the 2 things that held me back the most in my life. Ever since I could walk, I was always known as the quiet kid. And while sometimes it made me feel mysterious and gave me some aura, I was always jealous of the confident kid on the playground. Now having grown up and being someone that younger me would have been amazed with who I've become, I've decided to make this video to share 4 simple steps that helped me overcome my crippling problem. So these are the 4 steps to overcoming social anxiety and shyness. Now, the problem with shyness is that you feel claustrophobic in your own body. You always feel like you're imprisoned inside your own mind. It's like your mind cannot focus on the conversation because it's so focused on being self-conscious and finding a problem which doesn't exist. Now, the next problem is imagine all of the things you missed out on because you were shy. Now, shyness is fear. It's fear of other people. It's fear of interacting. It's fear that they might judge you for being a certain way, being yourself even. It's fear that your sense of humor might not match with theirs. Imagine how much better you would have been if you weren't so shy. It's scary to think about because you missed out on so much. I did at least. That Had I just been confident, had I just gotten out of my comfort zone, I would have had so much more by now. But anyway, so the solution to this is understanding that people aren't scary. Most people are actually pleasant to speak to. Like, for example, if you just walk up to a random guy in the street, you give him a fist bump and say, "Yes, bro," he'll probably just fist bump you and keep walking. He'll like smile or something. It's actually quite intriguing how weird you can act, but people actually accepting it, you know? So basically, the goal is not to become extroverted. The goal is to become confident around people. It's to get rid of that fear so that if you actually want to speak to someone, you can and you have the ability to. So, exercise number 1, start small, basics. I remember I used to live in Italy. It was a convitto, we call it, a boarding school. And in the beginning, when I was still learning Italian, like the very basics, I used to put a lot of emphasis on the good morning. Like as a meme, you know, I used to say, "Buongiorno!" And my friends would make fun of me. And it became like our joke. But it's funny because we'd be walking past someone in the hallway and I'd say my dumbass, "Buongiorno!" to that other person. But I'd always make them laugh. I'd always make the other person laugh because it's funny. But like, think about this. Imagine you're walking to the gym, you're going to school, you're going to work, anywhere. If you're just walking past someone and it's early in the morning, literally, there's nothing holding you back from saying good morning or have a good day. That's just spreading, positivity. As cringe as that sounds, that's just what it is, That's just being a good human being with manners. So your action step is get a dap up from someone. Literally. It can be in the streets, it can be someone you kinda know, doesn't matter. School, work, gym, that's probably where you'll dap the person up. Just go up to them. "How are you doing, bro?" That's literally all you need to do. It can even be like your coworker. Now, obviously, it cannot be your best friend, because that's cheating. Next, exercise number 2, a compliment. A genuine compliment. Don't just force it, because I told you to. I love this quote. A compliment is spreading joy, so don't be so selfish that your shyness holds back the happiness of other people. Amazing. Last time we were in the dressing room and we were changing for a match, and I noticed one of our thinnest players was actually looking kind of ripped, So I told him, "Oi, you're building some muscle." And then we just had a laugh over it. But it was true, because he was actually looking like good, no homo type shit. So, your action step is to compliment someone you know, or someone you don't know. Doesn't really matter. If it's someone you don't know, that's harder, but it's extra points. Compliment someone you know. It can literally be your classmate. Exercise number 3. Start a conversation. Now, let me tell you a story, and then I'll explain this. I'll explain context. Last time, I arrived early to the gym, so it was just me and the physical trainer waiting for the others to arrive. And I noticed he had some cool shoes, and I know that my sister wants those shoes. So I complimented him on the shoes. That's step number 2. And I asked him where he got them from. And he told me, "Oh yeah, they're like from stock X. And when you get them, size up, because they dress small." And we just had a small conversation over it. Notice what I did. When I say start a conversation, the easiest thing to talk about is context. Where you are, or what is happening. That is the solution to the speech bubble. The "I don't know what to speak about." Just speak about context. And next, as I have written, exercise number 4, this is the hardest, but the most enjoyable. The cold approach. If you don't know what it means, a cold approach is basically when you just go up and speak to a girl. Now, this is harder than going up and speaking to a guy, because obviously you have that nervousness, because it's a girl, It's common sense. So let me tell you the story of where this photo came from. This is me in the water with 4 Polish girls. One time during preseason, so during summer, we had a training session. And then after, we went to jump in the sea because it felt refreshing, it's good for recovery as well. And my teammates saw these 4 Polish girls. First, the striker went up to them and to no success. And then someone else walked up to them. But then they needed some support, So I big ballsed it. I walked up. And the amount of confidence that gave me afterwards was 10 times more than the amount of courage it took to actually walk up. That is a net positive. That is like saying to my brain, I'm not scared of doing big things. I am courageous. I'm not scared of people anymore. Imagine what signals that sends to your brain. I didn't get their number. I didn't date any of them. So what? That's still a win. That's still XP. I still walked. I still swam up up to them. Well, yeah. So basically, if you can do this, you can approach anyone. Bro, I have here. It doesn't have to be good. Just open your mouth. Literally, just say hello. Hello, what's your name? Have a good day. It doesn't have to be more. Literally, just opening your mouth is already better than 95% of other people. Because at least you're not scared. Or at least you're training to overcome that fear. Basically, what we're after is progress. If you do this, that's already progress. Then you can continue to work it out from there. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. 100% of the things we do are influenced by our past experiences. So maybe you're not socially anxious. Maybe your brain just uses it as a coping mechanism to deal and address your trauma. One very big misconception that we have is that we think we either have or we don't have trauma. It's not black and white though, it's gray. Everyone has some sort of trauma, even if you had a good childhood. So today I'm going to open your eyes and teach you how to spot the trauma you have, how it affects you without even knowing it, and most importantly, how to overcome it so that it doesn't affect your life any longer. So, step number one, what is trauma? Trauma is what affects you but doesn't show. It's underlying. It's something that ingrains a deep belief within you that you still subconsciously hold on to till this day. These deep beliefs usually come from one big event that happens, usually in childhood, like as we're growing up, and we keep holding on to them until we grow up, grow old, and eventually die. Number two, how it came. This can come from anything: parents, teachers, siblings, and friends. And notice how trauma is not always intentional. Let me tell you a story. So, let me tell you a story of one of my traumas when I was in school. Once I remember being 5 years old, and I was still like in the second year of kindergarten. I always remembered. Mom used to say, think outside the box, be different, be innovative and creative. So I held on to that. And one day in school, the teacher gave us a paper to fill in. It had shapes on it: squares, triangles, whatever. So I thought, how can I think outside the box? How can I be different? So instead of filling in the shapes normally, like a normal kid, I filled out the outside of the shapes. And I put a gradient, slowly go from one color to another so that it's not just boring, it's not just blue or just red. It transitions. And I was so proud of myself. Look at me, I did something so creative and so nice. Then, with my chest puffed out and with a big smile over my 5-year-old face, I went to the teacher. I gave it to her. And bro, to my disappointment, she was not happy, bro. She was like, what the fuck is this? Here, bro. Here, take another paper and fill it in again. Bro, I was, bro, I was so shocked. I didn't even fill in the second paper. I just went on my desk and cried. I literally remember wiping the snot on my sleeve. And yeah, that's one example I can give you. But just think about it. That event, what it said to my subconscious, what it said to my 5-year-old brain is that don't try anything risky. Don't do anything that the teacher might not like, because it's dangerous and you'll end up embarrassed. And just think about how that continues to affect you as you grow older if you continue to have that belief. Now, you are the way you are for a reason. So understand and accept it. I remember last time I was in the supermarket and there was a grandpa with his granddaughter. And this granddaughter was so curious and so outgoing. She was waving and saying hello to everyone. She was asking him, what is that? She was looking at the label. What's this ingredient? And bro, I could tell she was getting on his nerves. And then he finally snapped, bro. He's like, shut up! You're so annoying! And bro, you could just see
Like, bro, it's like a glass shattering. Like, the look on her face just changed completely, like, to shock, to embarrassment in front of everyone in the supermarket. So then she just went quiet. Just think about what that says to her brain. It's like, don't be curious, don't be asking questions, don't be like looking around, because it will lead to this consequence. And this is uncomfortable. But notice how it's not her fault, it's the grandpa's fault, because she was doing, quite frankly, nothing wrong. So, number 3, how to overcome it. So, it's simple, but it's not easy. Journaling. Okay, it's not the wishy-washy journaling, but basically, summed up, I want you to think about what big event happened that might have led to you having a belief that's negative about yourself. Like, I remember I was 13 years old and a football coach told me, I'm not good at heading, I'm not good at using the heads to hit the ball. And I kept that for such a long period of time. And that affected me negatively. So I can add that. I can journal about that. What big event, a turning point, did you have? So just think about it like this. Maybe you're not shy or socially anxious. Maybe you're just sort of protecting yourself from some sort of trauma you have that told you not to be outgoing. I remember once I was 7 years old, still like early primary school, and we had a concert where they brought like one of the most famous singers in the country. And everyone was having fun, everyone was screaming, and I was too. I was 7 years old, bro. And bro, the fat kid behind me, he like got mad at me. He told me like, bro, shut up. You're making so much noise. And I'm there like, it like made my face go white, like made me go pale because I was embarrassed. That's another thing I could write. So think about these. So think about these events. What could have happened that made you the way you are today? So now, once you have this event that made you believe you are a certain type of way, now you want to overcome it. So look at this image at the bottom. This is what you are right now. To become what you want to be, you must do what he does. So detach from yourself and change your behavior. So if you know that a more outgoing, a more confident person would say something right now, or if you would go to speak to a person who wants to speak to, he'd do it. You don't do what you always do and just stay in your seat, in your shell. You walk your ass over there and do what the person you want to be does. Because if you act like him for a long enough period of time, you're gonna feel like him, and then it only makes sense you're gonna become him. So, a quick summary. Trauma is something underlying that affects you without you even knowing. Trauma isn't always intentional, but it's a big event, a turning point in your life that made you believe a certain way about yourself. And number 3, to overcome it, notice it, detach from it, and start acting in a way you want to act, in the new person you want to become. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro.
If I would describe self-respect in one sentence, it would be like this: saying no to fuckery. A few months ago, there was an Italian girl I used to speak to, but then I noticed she got a boyfriend because she posted him on her Instagram, so we naturally just stopped messaging. Then, a couple months later, she hit me up again. She was like, hey, how are you? And that rang some alarm bells in my head, because why would she be messaging me? It's either she's bored of him, or he messed up. But I ain't no backup plan. So I said it straight. I'm good, how are you? I saw that you got a boyfriend, is that right? She left me on red, bro. Cause she noticed that I caught on to her bullshit. In life, there will be people who try to take advantage of you. Self-respect is saying no to them. They will get angry and maybe even curse you out, but just the fact that you put your foot down, you have gained their respect as well. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. Do you really think you're gonna get your dream girl and all of the money and personal success you want by sitting on your ass? I mean, just think about it. You think Sydney Sweeney is gonna come knocking on your door and asking your mom, is Benjamin there? You think all of that will come to you because you're a good boy sitting with your legs crossed and forcing your balls to do the division sign. You need to take what you want. No fucking shit. But right now, you're waiting for the prize to come to you. If you're thirsty, you're not gonna wait for Casper the Friendly Ghost to get you a glass of water. No. You walk your ass to the kitchen and you make a glass. As dumb as this example is, look at it in a grander scheme of things. No one owes you anything, it's all your responsibility to take, whether that's good grades, a girl, or sports. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. Number 1. Hold eye contact. Very important. Makes you look confident even when you aren't. Number 2. Don't look at the ground while walking. It gives you anxiety. You look like the guy doing the virgin walk. Or you look like you're the prey to a predator. Look parallel or slightly below. Number 3. Say basic words. Jim Rohn says that you can't handle the big disciplines if you can't first do the little disciplines. So, say hello, how are you, goodbye, and I tend to do this a lot. Actually give a response when someone asks you a question. Don't talk by gesturing your head. I repeat, don't talk by gesturing your head. Number 4. Stop judging yourself so much. It's not other people that judge you. It's yourself. You don't need to be self-conscious of how you walk or if your hair is okay. I mean, you literally just did your hair. So stop adding this useless anxiety on your shoulders and walk with purpose. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. Today I'm going to teach you how to improve your social skills without actually speaking to anyone. Yes, this is true because I've done it myself. In the bottom right, we see install good habits. These are the habits that you're going to gain by doing steps 1, 2, and 3. So, step number 1 will give you the habit of being comfortable opening your mouth and making more noise. Being a shy guy my whole life, I always said very short phrases and I said them really quietly. I'm quite soft-spoken. Even now, I've gotten a lot better, but even now I'm quite soft-spoken. And comfortable opening mouth, I open my mouth for a moment and then I close it quickly. It's like if I can remove that pressure, remove the attention from myself, socially, the better. But that's not a good thing. So this habit, this exercise, step number 1, teaches you that it's okay to make noise. Now, please, do this when you're home alone. You don't want to be in your house, in your room, and you're just screaming like a monkey. Because either you're going to get hit with the broom, or you're gonna get your mom worried. And either of those two are not good. Now, don't worry about neighbors. Don't shout and don't scream, but don't be afraid to talk to yourself. Or just call a friend and talk a little more loudly than usual. I drink raw eggs for dinner. And they taste like shit, but they're really healthy, so I know that I should do it. And every time I have them, I grunt, and I'm not afraid to be loud, because I'm home alone. Even when I'm with my family, I grunt when I have the eggs, but when I'm home alone, I do it a bit more powerful, you know, that caveman in me. Now, brushing teeth, that example. We all know when our dad brushes his teeth. He's like deep-throating the toothbrush and he's gagging. He's probably even woken you up once or twice. That's just full comfort, being yourself. He wants to do that, so he does that. It's natural to him. And this step also makes us comfortable, being just naturally ourselves. Because being shy and being introverted, we sometimes take that anxiety from outside into inside, that even when we're alone, wherever we are, in our house, in our room, in the kitchen, we're still uncomfortable being ourselves. We're still kind of uptight. This step helps you remove that discomfort. It helps you get used to being more natural. Now, I also have listen to music and sing along. Don't worry about the lyrics. Talk to yourself and memes. My favorite one is listening to music and singing along, because it's a vibe, bro. Right now I'm home alone and I can speak as loud as I want. Now the neighbors are not gonna notice, because it's just like having a conversation with a family member. Now, what I have down here, it's not fair for you to always have to filter yourself. Just think about that, bro. If you're shy like me, which I assume you are if you're watching this video, you always have to filter yourself out. You don't say what comes to mind. And that's not fair on you, because you have to go through all this extra effort just for the other person to get a downgraded version of yourself, which is a lose-lose. Learn and embrace being a dumbass. We all love being silly, especially us guys. We all love side quests and doing dumb shit, so do more of it. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Sometimes when I'm out with my family and we go to like the park or something, I climb a tree. I know people are watching me, but it's something I wanna do, and it's an exercise for me to get more comfortable. So fuck it, I'ma do it. Step number 2, talk to your phone. How I'm doing right now. Obviously now I'm recording. What you should do is record this video. Record yourself speaking to your phone about any topic. You can just come up with the topic beforehand, so you don't have to waste that extra minute trying to come up with what to speak about. Take a video of yourself and delete it right away. You don't even have to watch it, no one has to see it, you don't have to publish it anywhere, but this improves your accent because English is my second language, and you can probably notice some sort of accent. When you speak more English, your pronunciation of the words improves. Like with my language and with my accent, the word boat and boat are the same to me. I say them the same, even though boat is the thing on the sea and boat meaning two things. I say them in the same way. I don't say the th sound. So it helps me in that way. Number 2, become more articulate. You learn to pick better words when it comes to what you need to say. Now this translates to conversations because you're practicing speaking and you can tell when you say a stupid word or a word that doesn't fit perfectly. So then you can kind of have a think because you're recording yourself. No one's gonna see it. And the first few times you'll judge yourself, but you'll get used to it. So then you'll start kind of playing along with it, like you're the guinea pig, and you start experimenting. So you get better. You notice the mistake, and then you start to think, how can I word that sentence in a better way? And those skills that you learn on your own will translate to the outside world. Stop slipping over your words. Speedrunning sentences. Now, I speak for myself, but it probably applies to you. I was always shy, so I speedran my sentences because I didn't want the attention on me. So if I can say the sentence in 2 seconds quickly and then push it on someone else, I'll do that. But that's not good. Even right now, I'm speedrunning what I'm saying. It's like coming naturally in my head what to say. And I'm just saying it. Slow down, and I should too. So I'm gonna do this for the rest of the video. I'm gonna speak slower. So hopefully you'll understand better as well. And improve pronunciation. This actually is an exercise I learned this from the guy called Vin Jiang. He's like a really good social skills teacher, like public speaking and all that. Over-exaggerate your mouth movements when you talk. You're not gonna do this when you're speaking to someone, but now that I'm in private and you have some privacy, when you speak, over-exaggerate what you are saying with your mouth and your tongue. So this helps with your pronunciation, so you don't trip on your words. See how clearly I made that out? So somehow I forgot to record step number 3, so I'm gonna record it now. So number 3 is speak your mind. Now the simplest way to do this is to try it with family members, because this teaches you to speak out of instinct. Now why you want to speak out of instinct is because it's better to just let it out, just flow, than to force something to come up with. Just think about an elite athlete. He doesn't think, he just feels and does what his mind tells him to do in the moment. He doesn't have enough time to think. And this is kind of the same. A conversation will flow much better if you just say what you feel, what pops into your mind. Now, you're not going to be perfect at it immediately. No one is. And at no skill are you good at it when you start. But the more you do this, naturally, you'll get better. And you'll start to come up with more options to give. So like, let's say it's your first time doing it. Maybe you don't even have anything pop into your mind. Or maybe it's a shit statement. As you do this, next time, maybe 2 things pop into your mind. And then you can choose quickly, like on the jump, what's better. And that's how you improve the way you speak. That's one of the ways, at least. The easiest way to do this, just speak what pops into your mind. Is just simple. Now, when you start to do this, you'll notice you'll be much more polarizing, which means polarizing means you act on the extremes. People will like you more and they'll dislike you more. You won't have people like much in the middle, or at least you'll push people to the edges. Because if, let's say, let me give you an example. Last time I was speaking to a friend of mine and we were speaking about a football player. Now, everyone regards this guy as so good, so magical with the ball. I was like, nah bro, he's overrated. He doesn't run. His stamina's shit. And he just doesn't take it seriously. He drinks, he smokes. For me, he's overrated. Just that was a polarizing opinion. That automatically, like, not kind of pushes the person back, you know what I'm saying? But it makes him think that I have a backbone, that I have an opinion for myself. I'm not giving in. I'm not giving in to everyone saying, this guy's so good, he's the next big thing, blah, blah, blah. I have an opinion for myself, and the way I think. Maybe he's good, but he has a lot of missing things. A lot of the time, speaking your mind means expressing an opinion, or something you think very strongly about. That's a good thing. That actually makes you feel more like a man. Because think about it. The most masculine guy in history, Jesus Christ, he stuck literally till death to his values and to his goals. That's why he was so great. That's one of the many reasons. So stick with your values and don't, what's the word? Do not sacrifice your values and your self-respect by agreeing to something you don't actually agree with. Step number 3 will make you feel like you're just gliding effortlessly. Like the difference between before and after doing step number 3 in conversations is like you trying to run in sand and you just going ice skating. You know how smooth you are when you don't fall on your ass? That's kind of like how it feels. So yeah, do these steps 1, 2, and 3, and you'll install the good habits, which are in the bottom right. These habits then translate to the outside world, and people will start asking you how you're so clear, how you're so articulate, and just how comfortable you are speaking. I'm Benjamin. I help young men improve their social skills. If this video helped you, I would appreciate it if you send it to a friend who needs it. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. The Bible actually helped me a lot when it came to overcoming my shyness. You see, God doesn't want us to feel negative emotions like fear or anxiety, and that takes us to our first saying. There is one saying that is said exactly 365 times in the Bible, and that is the saying, do not be afraid. God tells us to not be afraid every day of the year. Because at the end of the day, shyness is just fear. We're afraid of what people will think of us. We're afraid of what will happen if we express our opinion. And that takes us to our second point, which we have today. Do not let your selfishness keep you from spreading joy to other people. You see, at the end of the day, think about it. If you are scared to give a compliment, if you are scared to say something that might improve someone's day, frame that as selfishness, because it kind of is. If I'm so scared of something that might happen to me, that I keep someone else from receiving a gift. That's selfishness, right? So change the framing a bit. Think about it as you're doing something nice to the other person. And that will help shift your mindset, because it's much easier to do something for someone else than it is to do it for ourselves. It's kind of ironic, but it's true. Now, my biggest problem when overcoming shyness was thinking that speaking was a trait which all arrogant people had, while that's not true. And while a lot of arrogant people do have this trait where they speak way too much, it's not a bad thing to have. It's even worse if you say nothing. Now I get it that you're an introvert like I am, but being so shy that you don't even say what you have on your mind, that's a bad quality. And that takes us to our next point. When you say something, it is an amplification of love. Think about it. God wants you to spread love. If you keep yourself from saying something that might improve the current situation, aren't you suppressing the love? Because that's how it is. Look in your heart. There's no ulterior motive to do harm or anything. At least I hope so. There's only the want to do good, to spread love. So let that give you confidence to speak. You should speak with confidence because you know that what you will say might and probably will improve the situation. It will magnify love. If you see someone on the street and you give them a compliment, that will improve their day. So don't be so selfish to let that keep you from improving someone's day, and deliver that compliment with confidence, because you know you're doing a good thing. You know that what you're doing, God is happy with you about it. The last quote, I believe this came from Jordan Peterson. When you have something to say, silence is a lie. Now I don't know about you, but I'm no liar. So speak your mind. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. Talking to people isn't actually that hard. You're just doing it wrong. You're just a couple of small tweaks away from having a lot better social skills. I'm about to share with you these small tweaks which helped me overcome my own fear of people. And when you learn this, socializing will be so fun that when you don't do it, you'll feel like something's missing. I can assure you that seeing your social skills improve is a feeling like no other. And seeing yourself get better at speaking to girls makes you feel like you're in an edit. So, when I say that speaking to people isn't actually that hard, you just think it is because you overthink everything and you're so scared about making a mistake. Now, the cure to overthinking is not thinking at all. It's just going through instinct. Literally, just say what pops into your mind. Literally, just say what pops into your mind the second it pops up, even if it's kinda random. Now, obviously, don't say anything that would attract the government's attention. I'm just saying. But don't worry about it. You'll get better over time. You'll learn to say better statements for your situation, just instinctively, just naturally. And just like anything else, the more you do this, the better you get at it. Time and time again. You just need to stack the reps. Last time I went to my best friend's birthday party, and there was a girl I met a couple of times before, but we never actually spoke to each other. And she was wearing these cool ass pants, bro. Like, they look like a picnic blanket, like you can imagine with the pattern. So what did I do? I took my own advice and said what popped into my mind at the time. I said, your pants are so cool. You know what they remind me of? You know when you go on a picnic and you lay the blanket down where you put all the food and stuff? And bro, she was so receptive. After that, we just had a back and forth and we started speaking about like what type of food she would be if she was a picnic. And then I joked with her. I told her that if she was an actual picnic, the ants would be all over her. Being a loner is not fun, bro. It's depressing. When I was 17 years old, during break time, I remember I literally used to go look for an empty classroom to eat and read alone because I was so nervous and anxious around people. Now, something that people get twisted, and I used to make this mistake as well, is that you need to get something out of the interaction. You don't! You don't need to get anything out of the interaction. You can literally just go up to a random person and speak to them. You don't need to have a reason to speak to someone. That's what I wish someone told my anxious 16-year-old ass back when I was still in high school. Wanna speak to that girl you see in the hallway? Why not? Answer me this. Why the hell not? A couple of months ago, I went out with my friend, and there was a couple of construction workers sitting on a ledge and taking a break. Now, cause we were passing right in front of them, my friend turned to them, fist bumped them all, and said to them, "Have a good day, my brothers." This is just a silly example to show you that you don't need to get anything out of it. You can do it just because. Just for the sake of it. So basically, you're not antisocial or a dork. Your hard drive's just a little dusty. You just need to install some new updates and get some practice in. That's all. You'll be surprised that most people are actually pleasant to speak to. And if they're not, fuck them anyway. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. This is my experience throughout life as a shy little boy. I wish I could send this video to my younger self, but I can't. So hopefully it helps you or someone else. Having always grown up and being known as the shy guy, life always felt good, but like a piece of it was always taken away from me. Just like that one time, actually, not just one time. The fat kid took my croissant. So back in primary school, my mom used to make my lunch and she'd always give me a croissant, like those individually packed croissants. And I loved it. And one day I remember the fat kid, he was like attracted by the smell or something, bro. Killer instincts. He noticed my croissant and he asked me like, oh, my favorite flavor, can I have it? Yoink. And bro snatched it before I had the chance to say anything. And then he just left. Back then I didn't have the balls to say anything. It just left me disappointed, you know, like that empty feeling, that sense of apathy towards life. It's like I was helpless, but not just in this scenario, but in all of life. And that takes us to our first point, is that in life, you actually have to go after the things you want.
Well, no fucking shit.
In life, you take what you want. It's not given to you. You've probably heard this a lot of times before me, so let me just tell you my experience with it. Being that quiet, anxious kid, I always expected things to fall into my lap. Because I was naive, I was innocent. But things don't work like that. It's like that fat kid attacked my croissant. You have to attack the things you want. I specifically remember being younger and being ignored by all the teachers, the coaches, the adults, and even just people in the street. So if I wanted help with the schoolwork, I needed to actually ask the teacher. That's how you get it. If I want help, I need to go after it. It sounds so simple, but I found it so hard to do because I never took the lead. I was always in the passenger seat of my own life. I never took the lead. I never initiated anything. I always waited for someone to hold my hand and take me, let's go get you help. Let's go to the restaurant. Let's go whatever it is. And one piece of advice I'd give you is take more responsibility, literally. The more, the better. I remember being so happy that in secondary school, my mom couldn't pick me up. So I had to walk home alone. And I felt so proud. I felt like this big guy, like I was growing up. Because I had that responsibility that I had to take care of myself. I couldn't get lost. I had to get home on my own. That sense of responsibility gave me life. And yes, it's a small scenario, but do it in a grander scale. Do it in bigger things and you'll notice how, like me, you as well will grow. It's responsibility that makes the man. And point number 2, I noticed that the more I speak, the more confident I am. Let's say, for example, we're in the dressing room before a match or before a training session. If I'm joking with my teammates and interacting, even if it's a small interaction with every single person in the group, in the team, I play much better. Compare that to when I have my headphones in. I'm the stoic quiet guy. I play much worse then. Even though I'm an introvert, socializing and being part of the group actually makes me happier. So I would sum this up by telling my younger self to not always go off on your own and to actually speak up more. Even if, like let's say you're in a group project and someone says something stupid, as they do, just speak up. Like I remember once, it wasn't. We were grown up as well, bro. I was 17. We were in a group project. It was me and three other people, and bro, they could not understand the question, what was expected of us. So they were just messing around. They were talking to each other, trying to come up with it. I just took my phone out of my pocket, got on the Notes app, and in 5 minutes came up with the answer perfectly. Then I just gave them the phone. Hey, what about this? What do you think? And bro, they loved it. Speaking up shows you have a spine. Don't be a loner, kid, bro. Don't be a loner. It's in the word, lonely. Be part of the group. It's literally more fun and makes you happier. And don't be afraid to speak up when you have something to say. Silence is a lie. So don't be afraid to say what's on your mind, because it shows you have a spine. And that even though you're shy and you're introverted, you're still not a pushover. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. Alright, so this is a very simple exercise you can do basically anywhere and almost at any time to improve your communication skills. This is especially good if you're an introvert and you get stuck on your words like I just did right now, but it can also be good if you're an extrovert, because who doesn't want to communicate better? This exercise is just talking to your phone. Record a video just like I'm doing right now. You don't even have to post it anywhere. Like, bro, last time I was playing PlayStation, I set up the phone, I clicked record, because I wasn't going to take it as seriously if I wasn't recording, you know? Even if I just end the recording and delete it straight away. You do this ideally when you want to, but I do this only when I'm home alone, because I don't want my parents and my family, you know, paying that attention to me. And why does this help you? Well, it improves your accent and your pronunciation. The accent you have is because of your own home language, your mother tongue. So your mouth gets used to those mouth movements and tries to apply those to the English language, which doesn't work. Like, for example, I don't say both, like that TH sound. Because of my mother tongue, I say boat. Boat meaning the sea vehicle, and boat meaning two things. I say them in basically the same way. It helps with pronunciation, because now, if you're an introvert like me, you probably don't say that many things. If you were to count the words that come out of your mouth, that number probably wouldn't be that high. So, the more you practice your speaking, the better it gets. It improves the rhythm. You'll know and you'll start to understand better when you should pause, when to slow down because you're making an important point, when you can speed up. Because Vin Jiang is a really good teacher on communication skills. He says that if you speak in just one rhythm, people will get bored. But if you go high, then you go low, then you kind of normal, that change in rhythm makes it more interesting, makes it more interactive, you can say. So the people who are listening to you will actually listen and pay attention. It makes it easier for them. And finally, you'll become more articulate. Now, what articulate means is that you'll choose better words to say. A lot of people make the mistake of saying the same word twice in the same sentence when they refer to something. This makes the sentence sound less professional, because if you were to choose a different word to refer to that same thing, the rhythm would be better. It would sound better than if you were to repeat the same word like a kid. Imagine a kid asking his mom, "Hey mom, let's go to the playground. Let's go to the playground. Let's go to the playground." It's repetitive. But if that kid were more articulate, which I don't expect, number one, "Hey, let's go to the playground." Number two, "Hey, let's go out." Number three, "Hey, let's go on the swing set," or something like that. You get the message. Now, bonus. This is actually an exercise I got from Tristan Tate. He said to read a book out loud, a non-fiction book. This kind of has to do with the main exercise, because you're speaking words out of your mouth. So your mouth is getting practice on speaking, on communicating your message better. These are two different exercises though, because the second one you're reading, and the first one you have to come up with what to say. If you freestyle the first one, that's very, very good to improve your communication skills, because you'll have to come up with things on the spot when you're in a conversation or in an argument or something. In the second one, you can take it a bit slower and focus more on the rhythm of the sentences, on the pronunciation of the words, and it will even improve your vocabulary, because it's a non-fiction book, so it will have some complicated words. And because it's non-fiction, it will have substance to it, which basically means it will have a certain tone to some sentences. Because there is such a thing as reading a sentence in the wrong way, because you said it in the wrong tone. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. Bonjour, I'm Prof, and today I'll teach you why overcoming shyness is just another part of self-improvement. I don't know why people get it twisted. They improve all of the aspects of their lives, except this one part. It's like it doesn't even exist, except it does, and this is the one that holds them back the most. And I'm not shaming you for it, because I've done it. I've improved every single area of my life, but I've ignored my social anxiety and my shyness. The thing which I grew up with my whole life, and it's the biggest problem I've had to face. And it should come as common sense, no? Since it's the biggest thing, it should be the frog that I eat. It should be the big thing that I fight, you know? That dragon. I ignored it, just like you are probably doing. And it kept affecting me. So after I've improved all of these things, I've leveled up in everything, I still felt like I was low level. Because all of your skills can be up here, but if you're shy, you'll only be able to perform at this level. Let's say your skills are this, but your shyness doesn't affect you at all. At least you'll be able to use all of this. But if your skills are better than this, but your shyness is this, you cannot use all of this. It will be actually like this. It will show less than it actually is, because you won't be able to express all of your capabilities. So if you don't want to underperform in life, listen to this, because I've done it, and I don't want you to do it as well. Overcoming your shyness is just another part of self-improvement. Instant versus delayed gratification. Feel uncomfortable now for a better tomorrow, or else feel comfortable now but suffer tomorrow and in the future. It's simple as that. Except this shyness, you always label yourself as the shy guy, the quiet guy, and the people around you know you for that. People know you as the guy who never opens his mouth, if you're just as bad as I was. And finally I was able to break out of that shell. But it wasn't until I made this mindset shift, like, hey, this is something that holds me back. It's not a part of me that I want to keep, so I must fight it. And that's why you're scared to face it, because this is something you hold so close to your identity. It's part of who you are. So you must change how you think about yourself, and then you can change your actions. And that's another reason why you're scared to change it. Number one, you think you're like this. Number two, the people you know, the people around you know you like this. So you're kind of scared to change who you are, because they'll tell you, oh, you've changed. You weren't like this before. You're speaking your mind now. And I get it. That's scary, because people know you for someone. And now, because you're upgrading, you're improving, that is someone else. That you're scared how they might react to him. But I'm here to tell you that this is just part of the journey. Overcoming shyness is another problem added to the list. It's actually the number one problem in the list that you must overcome to improve yourself if you suffer from it. And since you're watching this video, I assume you do. Because why would you be watching this in the first place? Treat it like the dragon. Treat it like the one big thing you must overcome. Everything revolves around it. And once you overcome this, it will have the biggest ROI on your life. Guarantee. It had on mine. It was so freeing to finally find myself doing things that I wouldn't have done because I was scared. And that fills you with a sense of pride, a sense of deep happiness. Overcoming your shyness and social anxiety is about overcoming fear and changing your identity. It is just like any other principle of instant versus delayed gratification. Suffer now, enjoy later, or be comfortable now, but suffer later. Be uncomfortable to open your mouth, to speak your mind, to speak to that person, to say good morning even. And you'll find out how that fear will go away on its own over time. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. I've been an introvert my whole life, and there is one mindset shift that I made that completely changed the way I am. So let me explain to you what it is and how you can use it to benefit yourself. I play football, and I always noticed that on days where I'm more social, I talk to others more, I have more fun, I play better. It makes sense. But I always thought that first I became confident and then I became social. But one day I thought about it and I tried to flip it around. What if first I force myself to be social and as a result I'll be more confident? So I started to try doing that. I have it in my journal. I set the goal, like speak to 3 people before training. Now, obviously, if you have friends at that place, for me it's training, for you it might be somewhere else, gym, school, wherever. If you have friends there, it's gonna be more fun, obviously, and you're gonna perform better. But you can also make that environment better by having better social skills. So I'd set these goals and I'd specifically try to speak to people I didn't speak to that much. And at the same time, it challenged me, it challenged my social skills. That I had to come up with something on the spot, to freestyle it. And you can just tell the energy is different when you do this. More people will just come up to you and speak to you because you're more approachable. You seem more fun. You seem like a nicer person. You know how it is with someone you don't really speak to that much. You're kind of at an okay level, but you don't like or dislike each other. At least like this, that okay level, you like each other. And even better if you're teammates or if you're classmates or if you're somewhere, you'll see this person a lot. I literally remember one time before training, a teammate came up to me and said, not really feeling like it today. Not feeling very well. My boots are hurting. I'm kind of tired. I wasn't gonna lie to him. I was gonna tell him the truth. I was feeling great that day. So I told him that. I told him how good I was feeling. And I started listing things that are just great. The weather is nice. The kit is clean. The pitch is slightly wet, so the ball fizzes. The guys are actually in a good mood. So I feel that's gonna be a good session. And automatically, his energy changed. He said, thank you. I feel a bit better now. Now, we went on to have a good session, but just that energy shift made it better for him. And I couldn't have done that had I not been social. Now, even as an introvert, even as the most quiet person you're ever gonna meet, I still felt more happiness being social than being in my own little bubble. And this makes sense. It goes back however many years that we're a communal species. We live together. If we're excluded from the pack, that sets alarm bells in our heads that something is not right. But being in that group, being social and having fun with them, that sets off chemicals in our brain, endorphins, the happy hormones, that, yes, well done, things are going well and we're a part of the group. Because that happens, you'll be happier, you'll perform better, whatever it is, school, sports, work, gym, and just your quality of life, your quality of the experience you have in that place improves drastically. So what can I say to you? As me, being the most quiet person you're ever gonna meet, if I can do this, then you definitely can. No problem. If I can do it with a lot of friction, then you can do it with the same amount of friction. So this is my challenge to you. Next time you're in that common place, school, work, sports, gym, whatever, set the goal to speak to one person you don't usually speak to and make this before your workout or before work, before anything. If it's school, just make it early as possible, like before the first or second lesson, and you'll notice that your mood will improve. You'll be happier and you'll perform better. So it's literally just a win-win. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. Ironically, I only attracted my crush when I didn't care about being on my best behavior and acted like a dumbass. This is something I wish I could go back in time and tell my 16-year-old self. Stop being on good behavior with girls and just act like the silly dumbass you are. That sounds crazy to say, but when I was reflecting upon it, I was like, damn, mom's right all along. You see, when you like a girl, you have this pressure inside you that, oh, I don't want to make her mad, or I don't want to poke fun at her, or this or that. So you wouldn't be 100% normal, you wouldn't be 100% yourself. But ironically, that actually attracts the girl less towards you. And this is why being yourself is a quality trait which is very, very attractive, whoever you are. Now, when we suppress that, when we suppress ourselves to be on good behavior, so, oh, maybe I don't want to step on her toes, that actually makes you less attractive because you're not being yourself. But ironically, girls like it more when you push their buttons, when you tease them, when you play jokes on them, even if they might be slightly annoyed by it. But that's what flirting is. There's a quote: flirting is just being annoying, but in a lovable way. Now I remember this one girl, and to make a joke out of it, I took her bag and I ran off with it and I left it somewhere. Obviously the bag was safe, so no one was gonna steal it. And so then she had to walk over to get the bag, and I'm just there chilling. I made a comment about it or something. And she was kind of annoyed by it, but she appreciated it because it was funny, you know? And that actually created more attraction between us than if I had just been a little good boy and did nothing about it. I would have been worse off if I was scared. Oh, I don't want to annoy her. Bro, there's nothing to be scared of. As long as you're not fucking abusive or something, or really a dickhead. There's nothing to be scared of. There was another time in the gym, and there's a boxing gym right next to the weights gym. So I got a boxing glove and I started play fighting with the girl. That created a better connection between us than if I had just been. That created a better connection between us than if I had just been boring and normal. Girls don't want normal conversations, they want fun. That's why that song always says, girls just wanna have fun, so make it fun. Now, you make it more fun by being yourself. If you're not a boring guy, which, if you were, that'd still be kind of fun and interesting in its own way. But if you're acting 100% yourself, you'll be fun as a result of it. If you're comfortable acting silly, acting like a dumbass, that's fun to be around. So you'll just attract the girls that are compatible with you. And I don't know about you, but that's a massive win in my book. And even with the girl I used to have a crush on days where I was most conscious of my behavior, I tried to be on good behavior. I tried to, oh, maybe I shouldn't say that offensive joke. She was less receptive to me on that day than on other days where I made that risky joke. I kind of pushed her a bit, and then she pushed back, playfully. She was so much more receptive then than if I had just been boring. No balls. So, have the courage and have the balls to act like yourself. Like mom always used to say, just be yourself. And you are unique. And that's special. You have a very special gift to give. No one is like you. Damn, I sound like your mom. But I'm just saying, if you are fully comfortable acting like yourself, you'll attract the people which are compatible with you. So, you should do this always. You'll repel the people who aren't good for you and attract the people who are. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. This thing that I'm going to share with you in this video is going to relieve all of the pressure you have from speaking to people. I wish someone told me this when I was first starting out on overcoming my shyness, because it would have made things a lot easier. I'm not gonna waste your time. This one thing is the law of detachment. Let me explain. Last week I had nothing to do, so I was just scrolling Instagram. I was seeing the stories, then I see this one story of this girl I met like a year ago. We live in different countries, so it's not like we were gonna meet or anything, but it was a nice picture, you know? So I liked the story, and I replied. I thought literally nothing of it. I wasn't expecting anything. But she replied, we had like a short conversation, then she was like, hey, in a few minutes I get off work. Wanna call? And I was like, damn, okay. I kept it cool with her, but in my mind I was like, sure. And then we had like a nice conversation. You've probably heard of detachment before, but you don't know what it means, because no one explained it. What detachment is you detach, you don't care about the end result. I swiped up, I replied to that story without expecting anything, not even a reply. But I got a lot more than I was expecting. When you detach from the end result, when you detach from any sort of reward, it takes off all of the pressure of the interaction going well. So, you know when approaching girls, they say the approach is the win? This is what it means, is that you had enough balls and enough courage to actually walk up and open your mouth. That is a W. If the interaction goes bad, that's still a positive interaction. Now, if it goes good, that's the cherry on top, that's a bonus. But the initial win is the start of the interaction. That's what it means to detach from the end result, is that you don't care how the interaction goes. If it goes well, amazing. If it doesn't, so what? Real quick though, I'm Benjamin, I'm a young man who overcame his shyness and now is finally comfortable speaking to people, and I help other young men do the same. If you're new here, like, subscribe and share. Do it for the algorithm, so this video gets out to more people, so I can help more people like you. When you start implementing this more and more, you'll start to feel more liberated. You'll unlock your free will. Because think about it, you as a shy guy, you probably never experienced free will, which is crazy as a human being. You've probably had an itch somewhere, or like needed to stretch out, but you didn't because you were scared, you'd annoy the person next to you, or the teacher would like call you out or something. Imagine how imprisoning that feels. This basically gives you permission to mess up. It's okay to mess up, but you need to act. The act, the approach, is the win. That's all. Just opening your mouth is already a step forward. That's why we don't care about the end result. And this works in the opposite way as well, because when you relieve all of the pressure of the situation going well, like, oh, I need her number, otherwise I'm gonna jump in the street in front of the cars. When you get rid of that pressure, you'll automatically feel more calm, more relaxed, more confident. So you wouldn't be jittery as you're speaking to that girl or that person or whoever. It's literally a win-win. You cannot lose, because if you open your mouth, that's the win. If she says yes and she gives you her Instagram or her number, that's a win on top of it. Detachment releases the pressure, so you're not choked feeling that you need to get something out of the interaction. The interaction is the positive, it's the W. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. You've probably already heard so much about the fear of judgment, so I don't want to bore you. I'm just going to tell you a couple of quotes that I really like about this topic and how you can use them to help you in your life. Quote number 1 comes from a person literally on his deathbed. As I've grown up, I've noticed that people don't care about me as much as I thought they did. Now, saying that, it might sound quite ugly, but this can actually be very, very freeing. And that's what this person was meaning. He wanted to get across the message that the people you think are watching your every step, your every move, they aren't. They're worried about their own lives, just like you are worried about your own. So if you're always doing things with the fear that other people may look at you or judge you, you'll always be doing things that appease to them, but it won't appease to you. That's why they call it people pleasing, because you're living your life in accordance to what they like, not in accordance to what you want to do. That's why it can be so dangerous, because doing that won't lead to your fulfillment in your life. It won't lead to you doing things you want to do. That's why it's so dangerous. So this quote should give you the freedom to do that, because people aren't thinking about you as much as you think they do. We all have the spotlight effect. It basically means that we think we are the most important person. And it makes sense because I'm living in my own body. I live my own life. You live your own. So we are the main character in our own lives. So naturally, we think that people are looking at us. We won't be concerned about others or if that guy is looking at the other guy. No, we're just concerned if that guy is looking at us and judging us. That's what the spotlight effect is. But this can actually harm us if we give it too much power, because the spotlight effects can eventually lead to overthinking, that people give us more attention than we think they do. In regards to this topic, that extra attention is not good, because it just makes us even more nervous, even more self-conscious than when we were before. If you like the content, welcome. I'm Benjamin, I'm a young man on self-improvement, and I help other young men overcome their social anxiety and shyness, like how I did with myself. Like the video, share, and subscribe, because it helps the content get out to more people, so I can help more people like you. Now, I literally remember going to college, and I was so anxious. So there's a bridge that you walk on to go above the road, to eventually get to the school. And I remember always at this point, at the beginning of the bridge, I'd kind of look around me and see so many people, so many other students like myself. And I'd start to get so anxious, like my breathing would freeze up, so I'd have to take deep breaths. But I'd be scared of making noise by my breathing. And it sounds so stupid, but I was so nervous, I'd like hold my breath, I'd be so tight. I'd be conscious, like, how am I walking? I hope I'm not like walking awkwardly or anything. But just me worrying about my heavy breathing or my body language or my posture, just me worrying about my awkwardness made me even more awkward as a result. Now, nothing bad ever happened. Like, no one ever came up to me and said like, why are you so awkward? That never happened. But I made the mistake that I thought the people around me were always only looking at me. They're not, bro. They're just walking to class. They're probably sleep deprived on like a Red Bull or something. Going to a class they don't even like. They don't care about you. And that should be freeing. Now, quote number 2. If you always live life in accordance to others, you will miss out on what's meant for you. Once I was scared shitless that my sister was going to find my YouTube channel. Oh, picture this. It was literally the day after I posted my first ever video on this channel. And my sister calls me over to her room. She's like, look at what I found. And in that split second, I'm like, shocked, like many thoughts rushing through my mind. Imagine there were so many thoughts going through my mind so fast that I didn't even have the chance to kind of look at the thoughts. And then I'm like, kind of shivering a bit, like kind of frozen up. She just shows me something random, like of football. And I'm like, oh, okay. I was so scared of what she might think, because I make YouTube videos. But when I think about it, why should I be scared of what she might say? I know she supports my dreams and my goals. And being a YouTuber was always a childhood dream of mine, ever since I was like 8 or 9 years old. So why should I be so scared of it? We all have our own different path. So why should someone look over at the other guy and judge him just for having a different path? We all have a different life. We all have different goals to achieve. Maybe some things might be in common, okay. But our purpose might be different. That guy's an elite athlete. That guy's a doctor. That guy's going to discover a cure for a disease. that guy's going to be a politician that improves his country. We all have different goals, different dreams. So if something doesn't align with your goals, maybe it's not wrong. Maybe it's just different. Now it could be, okay. But maybe it's just different, so just leave it there. Now, I'm speaking directly to you, but I'm sure you don't do this, because I'm like you. But think about this with other people. Since this is the wrong mindset, to look over at the other people and judge their journey, think about someone, maybe in your class or in your work, who does this. He's literally like a loser in his own life, but always looking to judge someone else. Now, I don't want you to give these people power, because they can take you off track in your journey. Just like we said, you have a different journey, so different things are meant for you. You're meant to meet different things. So if you live in a different way than the journey that's meant for you, you will miss on the things that you were meant to meet, that will help you get further on that journey. But just because you picked a different road, because of what he might say, you'll miss all these things, all these rewards, one after the other, that will take you further on the journey that you actually want to go on. In the book, The Way of the Superior Man, there's a chapter, Live as if your father were dead. Now, it might sound scary or ugly, I know, but just hear me out. This chapter basically explains that the way you live your life should be free of the judgment from your father. But not only your father, you can actually use this in a grander scale. You should live your life in a way that is free of the judgment of other people, whether that's your friends or your parents, your grandparents, your girlfriend, the people in class. A man is not free if he is weighed down by the opinions of others. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. You probably noticed how this video doesn't have a title, so you don't know what the video is about. Just for context, this video is about shyness and how having no title in the video relates to you not speaking in real life, so people don't get to know you. Think about this real quick. You didn't know what the video was about, so the only way to find out was to click on it. Well, in real life, if you don't speak to people, if you don't speak about if you like this thing or that thing, or your opinion about different subjects, people won't get to know you unless they're really close to you. Now, this is a common trait amongst introverts. I have this trait, you probably do as well. Just like me, you probably have a very small circle, but a very close circle. You probably have like 1 to 3 friends which know everything about you, but everyone else basically knows nothing about you. I'm just like that. Now, I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm just saying it could be better. Like, for example, if you go to the gym and you never ever speak to anyone, like you probably do, you just go in, train, go out. The most you say to someone is like, hello, to the receptionist as you're like scanning your card or something. That's the most interaction you get when you go into the gym. The thing is, people only know you by your face like that. They don't know your character, your personality, your sense of humor, your life, like what you do, what you study, what the goal is for your training. Now, I'm not saying that you should spread and tell everyone who you are and what you're doing, but I'm just saying, if you're in close proximity to someone day after day, you know them, you like trust them at least a little bit, there's no problem with them getting to know you or you getting to know them. Even if it's something simple like going into the gym, seeing the middle-aged guy there, giving him a fist bump and asking him about his work, or asking him what he's training for, or even just on the day what he's training, what muscle group. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you going up to people, speaking to them, and there's nothing wrong with other people coming up and speaking to you. I remember the time where after 2 years of being in the same school, some of my classmates didn't know anything about me. I went to college to study sports and physical activity, and it was a 2-year course. And some of the classmates I had spent the whole 2 years with me. We were in the same class 2 years in a row. And I spoke so little back then. I was so quiet back then, I was so shy, so socially anxious around everyone, that some of my classmates didn't even know what my life was like. Listen, this is all they knew about me. My name is Benjamin. I was 17 years old back then, and I play football. That's it. That's it, bro. That's all they knew. It's kind of sad when you think about it, because I see all of my other classmates socializing and speaking and making plans to go meet. Like, I remember once they organized a barbecue between themselves. And I just feel disconnected from them, which is not a nice feeling, because if you look at the hierarchy of needs, socializing is very important, like feeling connected to your group, to people. But yeah, that's one of my bad qualities that I've been trying to fix. And I felt that it was worth it to share with you, because you probably have the same quality. So basically, summarized, you don't have to be a loner. There's nothing wrong with you sharing your life with other people. Now, you're not gonna share it with everyone, okay. But if there's like a classmate, you know they're okay, they're like chill. There's nothing wrong with sharing something. Or like sharing, hey, next week I'm going to this place, I'm excited. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. So, there's this one thing I learned recently that had I known a long time ago, it would have made my journey overcoming my shyness a lot easier. If you're serious about overcoming your social anxiety and your shyness, you'll stick around for a few minutes. In this video, I'll tell you a story about how this thing was literally used on me. So some time ago, I woke up early to go watch the sunrise. So you know, the usual, get prepared, out the door, you know. And I walked to like a beach, and I was sitting on some rocks, like watching the sunrise. And out of the corner of my eye, I could see someone like walking and sitting next to me. It was a girl, and she literally came up to me and she told me, "So you really woke up early to come watch the sunrise?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do it sometimes." And she's like, "Oh, cool, where are you from?" And like, yeah. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm from here," and I could tell she had an accent. And then we started speaking about like where we're from, like what we're doing here. She's been here for like a few years now. And then after some time, some of her friends came, like from work. Mind you, it was still early and they had not slept. They were like on the beach, I think like partying or something. And then, so literally I just woke up and they're like not even asleep yet. And then like we started talking like to her, to this guy, to this other guy. And then they're like, "Hey, here we have our group. Come with us for a bit." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So yeah, I went with the group. We just stayed talking for a bit. Then after some time, we left. We got some breakfast. We went like for a small walk. And then we just went our separate ways. I went back home, like to start the day. They went back home to sleep. And yeah, this story might seem kind of insignificant, but to me, it opened my eyes as to like, damn, you can really just go up to and speak to anyone. There's literally nothing wrong with that. That's like, I don't know why it's so eye-opening to me. Maybe because it was that I was so timid and so shy that I literally needed permission from someone else to open my mouth. Maybe that's why it was so significant to me. And yeah, then I started thinking about it. I was like, I could use this myself. Like how that girl did sort of to me. Like how that girl did with me. Like came up and literally just started a conversation out of anything. I can do to other people. You can do with other people. You can literally just see someone, think they're interesting, and go speak to them. See someone, think they're attractive, and go say something. Because what's the worst that can happen, bro? After some thinking, there's only like 3 things that can happen. Either you guys will enjoy a conversation, like how me and that girl did. The person is still a nice person, but it's just not the good moment to speak to them. So just notice it and leave. Or else number 3, they can be a dickhead. So you won't get like a good reaction. But you don't even want to be friends with these people anyway, so at least they've done you the good job of eliminating themselves for you. There's literally nothing you can lose, bro. You can literally just expand your social skills, expand your circle and the people you know by just walking up to people in the street or like people at an event. Like if you're at the school prom or something, you see someone you've never spoken to, why not just go say hello to the guy? Or maybe you're like in school, in PE class. Now I remember in school we used to always share the pitch with other classes. And there would always be some people, either that I thought were like cool guys, or they were attractive. But I never spoke to those guys, and I never spoke to those girls, because I was always so in my shell. Probably had this happened to me before, I would have mustered up the courage and grabbed my balls to actually walk over to the other side of the pitch. And like, say something, finally. I know this video can be a bit random, but I just feel that it's something valuable to share. Cause it's so eye-opening to someone, like, cause I found it so eye-opening that it helped me, so it can help someone else who is just like me. Now, mind you, I'm not saying to force anything. I'm not saying to force a conversation, or like after watching this video, you see someone, you don't really like them, but just cause I said to start conversations, you want to go up to them. No, it's not like that. This is just natural, what you feel naturally. If you're out and about and you see someone, they look interesting or they're doing something cool or something, like how I was watching the sunrise. That's not very normal to do. She just found that interesting and came up to me. You can do the same, but with something else. Maybe someone has like an interesting toy or like cool shoes. I remember once this girl in class, she had like really nice shoes. They were black with like designs on them, but they weren't like mainstream shoes. I think she like designed them herself, but I never said anything. Fuck, bro. If I just followed my natural instinct, I would have said, yo, those are really nice shoes. Are they like custom made? There's nothing wrong with that, bro. There's nothing wrong with that, and I wish I knew that. Because I would have had so many more experiences, I would have had so many more conversations with people. It would have added so much to my character. I would have even been happier. But I didn't do that. And hey, okay, now I've grown up, I know that, I've made the mistake so I can correct it and all that. But it's better if you just avoid making my mistakes, so you can have that growth that I missed out on. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. This is why shyness will hold you back and potentially ruin your life, like it did to me and Tony. So, let me tell you my story. I was always the shyest, most quiet kid when I was young. Literally, like, I'd always walk looking at the ground. I'd only speak if someone spoke to me. And it held me back so much because there was so much opportunity that I just never went for. I was shy, I was scared of what people might think, or like, I was scared of people looking at me even. I didn't hold eye contact, and I never actually started a conversation with anyone. And thinking about that now, I have like sympathy with that little boy, and I understand him, but at the same time I'm like pissed, like come on man, like you're held back so much by it, like work to overcome it. And now I'm grateful that I'm much better than I was. I'm not as shy as I was. I mean, look at me now, I'm recording YouTube videos, which was always a dream of mine since I was like 8, 9 years old. I wanted to do gaming videos, but as back then I was too shy to like speak on camera, speak to other people. And now maybe it's not gaming, but I'm still like recording, you know, so I'm happy about that. And let me tell you Tony's story. So we have 2 cats. Oh. This is a cat, by the way. So we have 2 cats that we picked up off the street. They were abandoned. And let me tell you, like, from the beginning. At first, it was just cat number 1. We'll call her Mao, because that's her name. Because she meows. She doesn't meow, she says Mao. And so this is number 1. And we used to see her, and one day she spoke to us. She like meowed at us, like from under the car. So we went to get some food. This is close to our house, by the way. We went to get some food, and we gave it to her. And slowly, this became a daily, regular thing. Now, in the vicinity, like, imagine it's the road, like this. Oh shit. The road is like this. There's cars here, and like they pass, they can turn like this. Mao was like here, and there was Tony, another cat, here. Now, we could always tell Tony was obviously abandoned, a street cat. He was always hungry, and we used to give him some food. But he used to never like go to us when we used to feed cat number one, when we used to feed Mao. Now, one fine day, when we went to feed Mao, it was like what, 7:30 p.m. I still remember it. Cat number two came along. Now this was a kitten. She was like what, a few weeks old, a month old, something like that. And she came like barging in. So we gave them like the food, the treats. And Mao was obviously eating. Now the kitten came along like slowly, like undercover, and started to nibble at the treats. Now at first Mao wasn't angry, but she sort of had sympathy for the kitten. If you're interested about self-improvement, overcoming shyness, and basically improving yourself every day, welcome. I'm Benjamin. I help young men on self-improvement, basically improve their lives through simple and daily self-improvement. Like, share, subscribe, do all of that good stuff, because it helps the algorithm get this content out to more people like you, so I can help more people. Now, the kitten became a regular that we started to feed now. So now it was Mao and kitten. And eventually we found out that the people like around the place, like the neighbors, were poisoning them. Oh shit. Poisoning them. I can't believe it as well. But anyway, when we heard that, we fucking lost our mind. We said tonight they're coming home. They can't be poisoned anymore. So like that, we got Mao and kitten together. Now they're like sisters. They like sleep and eat all day, maybe run around, or catch a cockroach every once in a while. And what kitten did so well that Tony didn't manage to do, and cause Tony was held back by his shyness, he's still in the street now. I go to train every morning and I see him under the cars. Bro, it's so sad. If Tony just had the courage to show himself when we went to feed the cats, he probably would have been in our house now. But he didn't. His shyness held him back. It's like wearing a backpack full of rocks. It's like, how can you go full intensity, full sprint, if it's holding you back? It's like walking through quicksand, and it's so sad. But it's actually like eye-opening, because I used to be that Tony. I used to be like Tony. I used to be scared of going up to opportunities or like asking for a chance or this or that. Shit, bro. So because of shyness, Tony is still homeless. Had he not been shy, had he like kind of barged in, he would have had a home by now. He would have been in our house. Probably instead of kitten. But because kitten had the courage to actually invite herself onto like other people. Now I'm not saying like you have to go like this to other people, but I'm just saying like get out there, like push yourself, like get as many opportunities and experiences as you can, because they will add to your character, and they're all like opportunities to improve your character, one, and to improve like your career, your experiences, all that stuff. But you're held back because of the shyness, because you're scared of speaking to people, or you're scared of how you'll come off. Don't be like Tony, bro. I love and respect him, but please, bro, that's one aspect that we must learn to overcome. I'll help you overcome it, like I did with myself. Like literally, bro, I was so... That's a cue. I was so quiet that people actually thought I was mute, like I couldn't speak. Literally, bro, like, how I can explain it is like, you know, there's an experiment with like an ant, like, no, a spider, and they like draw a line around it, and now the spider is like walking around, it can't step over the line. But once the experimenter was like drawing a line, and the spider accidentally stepped on it, and just by it stepping on it, it like broke the limiting belief in its mind that, hey, this is not a wall, this is just imaginary, it's in my mind. So like that, the spider was like moving around, and no matter how much the experimenter would draw on the floor, it wouldn't be held back by those like marker lines anymore. It wouldn't be held back by that wall. And we must do the same, because we must learn to live with freedom. We are literally limiting our freedom. Tony limited his freedom. I used to limit my freedom because I was so scared of everything. I was scared of how I might come across, scared of saying something stupid, scared of so much. But if you only knew that I'd rather be scared of what doesn't come out of my potential than scared that I might be embarrassed while chasing it. I'd rather be going full speed at my potential and people telling me, hey, slow down, like you're going too much, you're taking this too seriously, blah 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 blah, than me going actually slow, like being a good boy, being timid, being quiet, and never actually reaching it. This space hurts your soul. Because it's all potential, it's all goals, it's all the person you didn't become. Just cause you were shy to say something, to put yourself out there. So if you think about it, being shy is actually not as safe as you might think. We act shy to feel safe, so we're not judged, or to avoid fear. But actually, being shy, we don't notice that we are actually risking something much bigger than that fear. We act shy, so we avoid this amount of fear, embarrassment, and all that stuff. But if we don't act shy, this could be the amount of reward we could get as opposed to fear. This is so much of a bigger reward. It's so much more rewarding. It's so much more freeing and you feel limitless, bro, like without a ceiling. And I want to leave you with one final thing. Being introverted is not a bad thing. Being shy is a bad thing. Being introverted basically means you prefer spending time on your own. Being shy means you're scared of basically other people. Being introverted means you have a choice. Okay, I can go speak to them, but I don't really want to. And okay, just because it's a choice, there's power in that. There's power because there's a choice. But being shy, you are stripped of that choice. You're held back, you're limited. And that's why it's so bad. If you have a choice, but you're just not interested in the person, props to you, okay. But if you're actually interested in that girl, you want to speak to her, but you don't have the balls, you don't have the confidence to go and do it, that's a lost opportunity, man. That's so sad. Because think about how many of those you will miss throughout your life just because of this factor. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. I found the secret to why you're so shy and timid. Stay with me for a few minutes and I'll teach you what it is and how to overcome it, like I did myself. So, maybe it's not that you're actually shy, but it's just that you're wasting your boldness, your ability to be bold when the moment arrives. And that is because of addiction. You see, addiction is the #1 killer of confidence. Let me tell you a story. Once, when I was still trying to overcome corn addiction, masturbation, and all that stuff, I reset the streak, and I don't encourage counting the days, but it's just for documentation purposes. I reset the streak and I thought to myself, oh, it's already day 0, so to speak, so I might as well have more fun and do it a couple more times. And yeah, that destroys me, bro. You know how it is, it's late at night, 12, 12:30, 1 a.m. And then you like sleep with the phone probably on YouTube or Netflix. You sleep like a zombie. And then you wake up like one as well. And yeah, it was from Friday night till Saturday morning. And I remember coming downstairs. And obviously, I woke up the latest out of all of my family. And my mom is like, hello, good morning. And I'm like, good morning. Bro, if you could actually feel what I felt, that like that intense sense of shame and like weakness, bro, think about it. I didn't even have the confidence or the power to look my mom in the eye and not even tell her good morning. I was so shameful, I didn't even have the strength to tell my mom good morning. And that fucking destroys you. And addiction is the #1 killer of confidence because it reduces your self-image. Even if you think it doesn't, it reduces your self-esteem. Because think about it like this. Self-esteem is like subconscious. It's what you think of yourself. It's like how highly you believe of yourself and what you think you believe. Now, if you do bad actions, automatically you're like training your mind. Maybe you don't even notice, but it will start to come out through your actions. If you do bad actions that hurt your self-esteem, your subconscious, it will start to reflect in how you act in your day-to-day. Now, when I was younger, I believed all of the brainwashing, the propaganda and everything, that oh, just masturbating like 4 to 7 times a week reduces the risk of like prostate cancer, and oh, it's good for you because you release stress and it helps you sleep better. And bullshit, bro. Don't believe that stuff. It's a sin for a reason. All addiction is sin, but I'm specifically speaking about porn, masturbation, because that's what I suffered with the most and what you probably suffer with as well. It's called PMO, porn, masturbation, orgasm. It's a sin for a reason. It's a sin in the Bible. It's a sin to watch inappropriate content and to look at stuff, and it's a sin to, shoot. It's a sin for a reason. So don't believe the modern propaganda, the modern brainwashing. It's healthy if you keep it in. And let me tell you why. When, let's say these are your balls and they're full capacity. Their full capacity. When you have the urge to jack off, that is your testosterone. It's your body telling you, hey, go like spread your seed, go speak to women, go get women and all that stuff. And that's a good thing. That's a healthy thing, that's normal. Now, when your balls are literally empty, you brainwashed your minds that, oh, I get a lot of women, I ejaculate every day. That's not a good thing, because now your brain, let me see if I can draw a brain. Alright, not bad. Your brain thinks that, hey, many women. So it doesn't need to like focus or like be like bold with action. It's like you're sacrificing your boldness because you empty your balls every day. If your balls are full to the max, your brain will be like so pumped, so like full of energy. It will recycle materials that you would have shot out. It would have recycled them into better mental clarity, more test, mental clarity. Basically, you will become better in every single realm, including boldness. Boldness, let me see. Boldness is basically like, hey, I want something, I'ma go at it. It's like seeing a pretty girl on the street. Being bold means you go speak to her. It's like you're less fearful because you have less shame because of what you do. But when you have empty balls, these are empty, and you see the same girl on the street, even though you might not notice it, your brain will know that you did shameful stuff last night or the day before, and you have empty balls, so you won't have that urge to like go meet women. That's one of the things I noticed, that when I used to PMO and when I don't PMO, when I don't, I have more urges to go speak to actual women, to get actual dopamine. I'm more bold to go after what I want, because the body understands that this energy, if it's not being used to like have kids and spread your genetics and all that stuff, it could be used to improve yourself further, that you become better, so that then you will be able to do that primal desire. But when you PMO, you're tricking your brain into believing that you're the guy, you're the G, and that you sort of need to take it, that is like can take it easy with all this stuff, so it won't like put as much effort into giving you energy and as much testosterone and all that stuff. So now let's say you finally quit PMO or any other addiction like phone, sugar, anything. Now you'll have no shame because you don't waste your time, your energy, and you actually have more self-respect. You'll have higher test, higher mental clarity, higher confidence, basically higher everything, because you're upgraded. And let me tell you something, this is something not many people actually understand. Dopamine is actually linked to testosterone. If you have bad dopamine production, your testosterone will plummet, will go down, because they are linked. And it makes sense because having high testosterone is linked to making hard work feel good, feel rewarding. That is high testosterone. Now, if hard work doesn't feel rewarding, if you feel like hard work is a chore, that's a sign that you need to fix, number one, your dopamine and your testosterone. So that now, when your test is fixed, hard work, not homework, hard work will feel better. So you'll be more likely to do it. Because obviously we're more likely to do something that we enjoy or we feel good after doing it. So this is the number one thing you must do to overcome your shyness. Get rid of any addiction. That's the biggest ROI action I have found to overcoming shyness and timidness. And ROI basically means amount of action. Let's say this is action. Let's say I did 4 actions and they give the highest amount of reward. So let's say with 4 actions, metaphorical actions, I get 8 rewards, as opposed to the same 4 actions, but I get 4 rewards. This is a worse ROI than before. Now, quitting addictions is the number one ROI thing you can do to overcome your shyness, your timidness, lack of confidence, and all this stuff. And that's because it fixes your shame. You won't have shame anymore. It increases dopamine, so thus increasing testosterone, which will then make you bolder and literally better in every single realm, because more dopamine equals more test, because they are linked. More test means you are more of a man, you're stronger, you're bolder, you're smarter, you're... So this is the number one action step. Action step. Identify one addiction that is holding you back right now. Now, the most common ones I've noticed is porn, phone addiction, and sugar. It might be something else. It might be like smoking or drugs or anything else. But these three are the most common on young men on self-improvement like ourselves. Action step is identify that one addiction that is holding you back, because we probably all suffer from one. Like, it's modern day. That's the biggest thing that holds people back. It's addiction, bro. They took over our dopamine. Identify it and come up with a plan to help deal with it. Now, I'm actually making content on dealing and replacing addictions with good habits. If you like this type of content, welcome. I'm Benjamin. I'm a young man on self-improvement who overcame his shyness, and now I help other young men improve their lives through daily and simple self-improvement and overcome shyness like I did. If you like this, please subscribe, like, share, comment, all that stuff for the algorithm, because it helps me get the content out to more people like you, so I can help more people like you. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. I'm making this video because I'm pissed, and I want to share with you a mistake I made, which cost me my 10 on 10 girl. So watch this if you're scared to ask her out. So let's start from the beginning. When I was around 15, 16 years old, I had a crush, and I went to the gym one day and I was lifting weights, and I posted a story where like my muscles were popping out, my veins literally looked like a map, like they were so pumped, so visible. And I posted the story. Obviously I posted it for her and she ended up liking it, so I'm like, yeah, I was feeling like a G. But I never actually had the balls to ask her out. We were putting up Instagram notes and replying to each other and leaving likes on the posts, but we never actually met up. I never had the balls to ask her out. And then, but I could tell she liked me and I liked her too. And then it got to a point where like she lost interest, but I kind of kept it, so to speak. So like she was already a no, but I was still kind of a yes, like 50%. But she used to be a yes and I used to be a yes. So had I had the balls to ask her out, it would have been a yes. Like we would have probably met up. But because I never mustered up the courage, because I never ikshafil to have an expression in my language, because I never literally translated it, uncover your balls. It's like when you do something courageous. Because I never did that, we never ever met up. And then she moved on, and now she has a boyfriend. And it just pisses me off so much that I never actually had the courage to ask her, because I was so scared of what maybe she might say or what her friends might say, maybe scared of being the screenshot in the group chat, and that held me back so much. And I want to teach this to you. If you never ask, things will stay the same. You don't have a girlfriend now. If you don't ask, you won't have a girlfriend. But if you ask, so let's vote a yes, the possibility might be that things either stay the same, how they are now, or there's the possibility you get a girlfriend. Now, what holds most people back, and it held me back as well, is you're scared. It's just that initial, like, spark. And I found a trick to this. If you don't think, it actually helps. Because thinking, if you do think, you'll start to come up with all these excuses and reasons as to why not to ask her out or what could go wrong. So if you just don't think, your brain won't have the time to come up with them. And then when you're in that like blank space in your mind, when you're not thinking, that's when you send a message, or like you call her or something. If you call her, maybe it's slightly better, but then at the same time you'll kind of be nervous. At least if you send a text, you'll have like time to arrange it. And I can literally write this text for you. Give me a second. I literally crafted the perfect text you could send, because Okay, it's not perfect, I admit it, but at least this eliminates any doubt that she or you might have. So like this, she'll get the message. She'll get what you're trying to do. You'll be respectful. You'll be courageous. You'll be actually like a man. Like, look, I think you're cute. I want you. Let's hang out. It eliminates all of any bad things or anything. Because imagine the worst thing that could happen. She says no, but she still takes a screenshot of it. You'll still look like a classy guy. You didn't like beg for anything. You didn't like do anything stupid. This is a fully normal, respectful message. And there's nothing wrong with that. So bro, this is the action step. I know it's hard, but if you have a crush, send the message. If you don't, you're still not avoiding this action step. Just compliment like a stranger. Like next time you go out, not with your family because I know how awkward it is, but next time you go out alone, just compliment a stranger. It could be even a guy, I don't care. Like you like his shirt or his beard looks clean or something, I don't know. You could just do this. At least you get out of your comfort zone. And just by you doing that, you'll already be like in a happier, better mood for the rest of the day. Because you've done something well, like something kind of like a good deed. And you're always like, you got out of your comfort zone, and that's something to be proud of. And another thing, this is like the second part of the story. When I actually did ask this girl out, when I mustered up the balls to do it, because my friend peer pressured me, when I did ask her out, it was too late. It was like a year too late. So she was like kind of hesitant, she said no. But after I did ask her out, it was the most productive I've ever been in my entire life, bro. I literally had my habit tracker. I got it 100% for the first time ever. Just cause of like that pride, that proudness you feel after doing something hard. So even if it's not just for a yes or a oh shit or a no from the girl, just doing it for the sort of experience, for the development of your character, that's already worth it. Just the approach or just asking her out, that's the win, not the yes. Not that, obviously it's nice, but just asking her, that's already a win. Because think about it, what, like 90% of people, if you just ask, you're already ahead of like what, 90% of people who are too scared to do it. David Goggins says this, do something you hate every day. And maybe you don't hate this, but this is something that's fucking hard. So just by you doing something hard, that's developing your character so that you can become a better man. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. Deciding to overcome my shyness and finally overcome it was the best decision I've ever made in my life, or one of them at least. Bro, you don't even know how much shyness holds you back, how many opportunities you miss just because you're scared. Today, I'll share with you my story and someone else's story and how it ruined their life. His name is Tony. So we have two cats in the house, a brown cat and an orange cat. We call her Kitten because we got her when she was a kitten. Now, we picked these cats up from the street. They were strays, and one day we were coming back from training and the brown cat meowed to us to get our attention, and from that day on we started feeding it. Then on I don't know when, like a special occasion, the kitten came along, and bro, she was so small, so frail, so dirty, because she's orange but with white patches, so you could see the dirt more. And the kitten, she was so small, bro, she was like a month old. She started to like barge in with the other cat. Now the other cat wasn't happy, but she could kind of sympathize with the kitten. So we started to feed this brown cat and the new kitten. Now the thing is, on the same street, there was another stray cat, Tony. Now this kept going on for like a couple of months. Then we found out that the neighbors, like the people who live in the street, were actually poisoning the food we gave to the cats. So we were like, fuck this. On that day, we picked them up. We brought them home. Then like in the following week, we took them to the vet. We got them cleaned up. All that good stuff. Now, Tony's a shy cat. A really shy cat. Now, what the biggest mistake Tony made was never including himself, never pushing himself to go like with the other cat, with the other brown cat. Tony's shyness held him back so much that he's still in the street today. If Tony wasn't shy, he would have a home by now. He would be with us. I see Tony every day as I'm walking to go train. There's a lady in that street who goes to feed him. Tony's shyness held him back because it held him back out of fear from an opportunity. He could have been adopted right now, but he didn't because he was scared. Something the kitten wasn't afraid of because she just pushed herself onto us, kind of. Now, you might say, oh, well, Tony's a pussy. Bro, don't you realize that sometimes you're Tony? You're so scared to like open your mouth and say something. Maybe there's a debate in class and you're scared of what you might say or what people might think of you. Once I remember there was a debate in class. I was in college, I was 16. And I gave my opinion on a controversial topic. Even though after I felt really uncomfortable and I was like, oh shit bro, I didn't word that right. I was cringing to myself. I'd rather have that cringe than have that feeling that a small part of you dies. Because you want to say something but you don't. And bro, the thing is, it's not safe to be shy. We think being shy is a safe thing. Because we're afraid of other people and of what might happen if we're not shy. The thing is, when I wasn't shy in this debate and I actually spoke my mind, the people actually started respecting me more. Because it shows that you're the type of guy who doesn't stand for bad things or who doesn't stand for things they don't like. And bro, I know how you feel. I know how hard it is. I know it feels claustrophobic in your body. You like try to close yourself off so there's less of you. You're scared to open your legs and like take up space on your chair. I know how it feels because I was so shy. People literally thought I was mute. People thought I couldn't speak. I know how it feels. And it feels like you're in fucking jail. Like you're wearing the handcuffs and the shackles with that like ball on the chain. That's how it feels, bro. But I urge you, this is something you must overcome because it holds you back so much. Imagine never reaching your goals just because of this one factor, because you were scared. Imagine how crippling that feels. Imagine the sense of guilt and shame and intense fear. This is your duty as a man always improving. This is something you must overcome. Now I'll admit it's not easy, not at all. But if you're already watching this content, then there's hope. You already want to improve yourself. And the willingness is the hardest thing. Then it's just learning and implementing. But the willingness is something not everyone has. So I salute you for that. And I made this video just to wake you up, to share with you a story. I don't think there was a situation that was made as obvious to me as Tony's story as to why shyness holds you back and why shyness will ultimately ruin your life. I actually made a video to a 4-step process to overcoming social anxiety and shyness. Watch it next. It will give you some actionable steps for you to gain XP and stop being so afraid of initiating conversations. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro. Just give me a few minutes of your time and I'll show you how to progress faster than everyone else. If you use this system that I'm about to teach you, this will be you compared to them. You on self-improvement versus them on whatever they do. Now, it's a 2-step process. It's really simple. Step 1, do as much as you can. Take initiative and learn, bro. Learn as much as you can. I used to have coaches which were ex-professional footballers. Now they're retired. And I remember specifically them telling us, like, hey, we've been professional. We've gone through the good, the bad, everything you can imagine. Use us. Literally, they said use us. Like, ask us questions. Like, ask us how to do this or what should I do in this situation. Now, what I learned from this, apart from what I learned from them, is that I can take this mentality throughout life. Take initiative. Learn as much as you can. Do as many things as possible. Like, Say yes to opportunities, bro. Go to places you wouldn't have gone to otherwise. Because, bro, I remember when I was young, like still a little kid, like 12, 13 years old, I'd always be inside on my computer playing like Happy Wheels or Minecraft or something. Happy Wheels? Is that what it's called? And bro, now that I'm older, I'm 19 now, I look at myself and I get so pissed. Like, bro, there's the whole world out there. Just go to the playground or do something. And now, obviously, that I'm more disciplined, I'm more mature, I say to my family, like, even every time I have like half an hour free, hey, let's go for a walk, or let's go have an ice cream from this place, or let's go do this. The more you do, the more it adds to your character, the more full your character becomes. Because imagine you have a bucket, like, and each time you do something, you add a ball to that bucket. If you're like me when I was 13 years old, that bucket is empty. But if you're like that really active kid, like in the grade, he's always out and doing this and doing that, and he's like playing basketball, and then he's skipping a lesson to go play football and then rugby or something. He's adding so much to his bucket. Let's be more like him. Let's do as much as possible. Let's say yes to things we wouldn't have. Because it's all experience at the end of the day. Like coins on the ground in games, don't leave them there. We don't even realize how many opportunities we have, like literally right in front of us. And it's like when you kill an enemy in a game and they like drop coins or they drop their loot, and you just leave it there to despawn. That's what we do in real life, bro. And it angers me so much that I used to do this, but now that I'm older, at least I know better. So I can't be that mad. Now, step 2 is reflect. So do as much as you can and reflect on it. What did you do well? What you didn't do well? That's more important. What you did wrong is more important than what you did right. Because what you did right, okay, it's good. But it's already like in you. What you did wrong is what you can fix and improve. That's how you can improve. And most importantly, like, what can you learn from what you did wrong? That's the most important. That's why self-reflection is so important. It's a cheat code, bro. This is a mindset. This is a meme I made mindset. Instead of saying, oh, I fumbled here, or oh, I made a mistake, say, that mistake was necessary for my education and I learned something from it. And it looks stupid, okay, but it's such a powerful mindset to have. Because mistakes are only mistakes. Mistakes are only a bad thing if you miss the opportunity to take something from it. Mistake. There is something to take from every failure you have, you could say, because it's not even a failure if you won from it. You either win or you learn. So if you think about it, you can only win. It's okay to mess up. It's not okay to just let it slip by. Learn from it. Sometimes you learn what not to do rather than what you should do. Imagine, bro, like, I can think of so many times I was like speaking to girls and I say something stupid and I'm thinking about it like at night before I sleep and I'm just laughing by myself. And that taught me like what I shouldn't do, not what I should do, like what I shouldn't. Because sometimes you just need to reduce the times you fuck up instead of just increase the times you do well. Because the times you do well might be high, but the times you fuck up might be so high that it ruins it. If you use every experience to learn, your trajectory will go like this instead of just like this, slowly. No. Learn from everything you do. Learn from every mistake you make. Now, you make more mistakes by doing more things. The more mistakes you make and the more you learn from them, the faster you'll improve. That's basically how you progress faster than everyone else. Do more things, make more mistakes, and correct them so you learn and improve quicker. You're not early, you're not late, you're just on a different timeline. See you, bro.